The Boiling River: Secrets of the Amazon's Ancient Fire. Introduction: The river that shouldn't exist. Close your eyes and imagine the heart of the Amazon rainforest. You likely picture a vast emerald cathedral of trees, the humid breath of the jungle, and the cool brown waters of the world's largest river system winding through the mud. You expect the water to be refreshing, or perhaps murky and filled with caimans. What you do not expect is for the river to be screaming. What you do not expect is a cloud of white steam rising hundreds of feet into the canopy, thick enough to hide a tiger. What you certainly do not expect is for the water to be hot enough to kill. For centuries, stories circulated among the indigenous peoples of Peru and the Spanish conquistadors about a river called Chiney Timbishka, boiled with the heat of the sun. To the scientific world, this was an impossibility. Geothermal rivers exist, yes, but they are always found near volcanoes. There are no volcanoes in this part of the Amazon. Not even close. In this audio exploration, titled The Boiling River, we are embarking on a journey into one of the last true mysteries of the natural world. This isn't just a travelogue. It is a deep dive into the intersection of ancient shamanic wisdom and modern geological discovery. We will follow the footsteps of the young geoscientist who risked his reputation to find a legend, explore the terrifying physics of water that cooks animals alive, and meet the guardians of a sacred site that the modern world is only just beginning to understand. This is a story about the blood of the earth. It is a story about a place where the line between the physical world and the spiritual world is blurred by a veil of hot steam. Prepare your senses. We are heading deep into the Peruvian jungle to find the river that boils. Chapter 1: The Legend of the Mother of Water. To understand the boiling river, you have to start with the stories that kept it hidden for so long. To the local people of Mayantuyacu, the river is not a tourist attraction. It is a sentient being. It is the lifeblood of a powerful spirit known as the Yakumama, the Mother of Water. The legend says that the Yakumama is a giant serpent that lives at the headwaters of the river. She is so powerful that she can heat the water with her very presence, turning the stream into a tool for healing and a weapon for protection. For generations, only the most powerful shamans dared to venture to its banks. They went there to speak with the spirits, to gather medicinal plants that thrive in the heat, and to perform rituals that could heal the sick or curse the greedy. But the legend took on a darker tone during the era of the Spanish conquest. After the fall of the Inca Empire, the Spanish were consumed by the lust for gold. They followed rumors of El Dorado, the city of gold, deeper into the jungle than any European had ever gone. The few who returned came back with wide eyes and trembling voices. They spoke of giant spiders, snakes that could swallow a man whole, and a river that boiled from the ground. They believed the jungle was cursed, a place where the very elements turned against them. For the next 400 years, the boiling river remained a ghost story. Explorers mapped the Amazon, oil companies scouted its depths, and gold miners tore at its banks, yet the river stayed hidden in the folds of the rainforest. Most geologists dismiss the idea entirely. Without a volcanic heat source, a boiling river of this size, some 4 miles long, was simply a physical impossibility. It was a myth, a campfire tale, a piece of jungle lore that didn't belong in a textbook. Or so they thought. In this chapter, we explore the cultural weight of the Chiney Timbishka. We look at how the river served as a natural border, a sacred sanctuary that the indigenous people protected with silence. We examine the first whispers that reached the ears of the modern world, and why everyone, from PhDs to government officials, said the same thing: it does not exist. Chapter 2: The Quest quest for the impossible, Andreas Russo's journey. The story of the Boiling River's discovery begins not with a map, but with a memory. Andreas Russo, a young Peruvian geoscientist, grew up hearing these legends from his grandfather. But unlike most people who leave childhood stories behind, Andreas couldn't let it go. While finishing his PhD in geophysics, Andreas asked a simple question during a family dinner. Could the Boiling River be real? His mother surprised him. She didn't just say it was real, she said she had been there. She told him it was protected by a powerful shaman, and that the water was so hot you could make tea in it. Armed with nothing but a vague location and a healthy dose of scientific skepticism, Andreas set out into the Peruvian bush. His colleagues warned him he was chasing a pseudo-scientific ghost. They told him he would find nothing but a lukewarm stream or a small thermal spring. But Andreas knew the Amazon was a place that kept its secrets well. The journey to Mayantuyacu is not for the faint of heart. It involves tiny plains, long boat rides up winding rivers, and a grueling trek through mud that wants to swallow your boots. As Andreas moved deeper into the jungle, the air changed. It became heavier, wetter. And then he saw it. A wall of white mist rose through the trees. At first he thought it was a forest fire, but as he got closer, he didn't smell smoke. He smelled the clean, metallic scent of rain. He stepped through the foliage and found himself standing on the bank of a river that looked like it belonged in a dream. The water was crystal clear, but it was churning. Massive bubbles broke the surface, and the heat hitting his face was like opening an oven door. He took his thermometer and dipped it into the water. It read 210 degrees Fahrenheit, just a few degrees shy of boiling. He realized in that moment that everything he had been taught was wrong. The river was real, it was huge, and there wasn't a volcano for 700 miles. In this chapter, we follow Andreas's initial expedition. We experience the sensory shock of the river, the roar of the water, the blinding steam, and the sudden realization that nature has more tricks up its sleeve than science has explanations for. We look at the moment he met the shaman, the guardian of the river, and had to ask permission to study a place that was considered a god.
Chapter 3: The Blood of the Earth, the Physics of the Heat. How do you boil a river without a volcano? This is the question that kept Andres Russo and his team of researchers awake at night. In most geothermal areas, like Yellowstone or Iceland, the heat comes from magma chambers relatively close to the surface. But the boiling river sits in a non-volcanic basin. The answer, it turns out, is much deeper and more terrifying. To explain the heat, we have to look at the geothermal gradient. As you go deeper into the earth, it gets hotter. Usually, this heat stays trapped miles underground. But the Amazon is a land of massive geological faults. Think of the Earth's crust as a cracked eggshell. In certain places, the cracks go so deep that they reach the intense heat of the mantle. Rainwater falls in the high Andes Mountains, seeps deep into the earth through porous rock, and travels hundreds of miles underground. As it travels, it gets hotter and hotter, absorbing the Earth's internal energy. Eventually, this pressurized, superheated water finds a highway, a vertical fault line that allows it to shoot back up to the surface at incredible speeds. The boiling river is the exit point for a massive hydrothermal system that may begin hundreds of miles away. It is quite literally the Earth's blood being pumped to the surface through a geological vein. This chapter breaks down the hydrothermal plumbing of the Amazon. We look at the flow rate, over 6,000 gallons per minute of near boiling water. We discuss the chemical composition of the water and how the plumbing remains stable even during the massive floods of the Amazon's rainy season. This is a story of planetary scale, showing us that the Earth is not just a solid rock, but a living, breathing machine with a furnace that never goes out.
we explore how the river acts as a window into the deep earth, giving scientists a look at processes that usually happen 20 miles beneath our feet. Chapter 4: Life, Death, and the Extremophiles. The boiling river is a place of extreme contrast. It is a source of life for the jungle, but it is also a graveyard. If you are a small animal in the Amazon, a frog, a lizard, or a bird, the river is a deadly trap. Andres Muzo has described the gradual cooking of animals that accidentally fall into the stream. They don't die instantly. They try to swim, but the heat quickly cooks their muscles. Their eyes turn cloudy white. Eventually, the water enters their lungs, and they are cooked from the inside out. It is a grisly, visceral reminder of the river's power. The jungle is a place of brutal survival, and the boiling river is its most unforgiving predator. But where there is death, there is also unique life. In the hottest parts of the river, where the temperature would kill almost any known creature, scientists have discovered extremophiles. These are microorganisms, bacteria and archaea, that don't just survive in the heat, they thrive in it. These organisms are of massive interest to the scientific community. They hold the secrets to Taq polymerase, enzymes used in DNA testing and medical research. Some of these bacteria have never been seen anywhere else on Earth. They are survivors of an ancient world, living in conditions that mimic the early Earth or even the moons of Jupiter. This chapter explores the biological frontier of the river. We look at the steam jungle, the unique ecosystem of plants and insects that have adapted to live in a permanent sauna. We talk to the shamans about the medicinal plants they gather from the riverbanks, plants that the locals believe gain firepower from the water. We weigh the grisly reality of the animals that die in the water against the microscopic wonders that are born from it. It is a chapter about the resilience of life and the thin line between a habitat and a furnace. Chapter 5: The Sacred Struggle, Protecting the Amazon's Fire. The boiling river is no longer a secret, and that is its greatest danger. When Andres Russo brought the river to the world's attention through his TED Talks and his book, he knew he was walking a double-edged sword. He had saved the river from being forgotten, but he had also put a target on it. The river sits in a region of the Amazon that is under constant threat from logging, cattle ranching, and oil exploration. For years, the only thing protecting Mayantiagu was its remoteness and the legend of the shaman. But legends don't stop chainsaws. This final chapter is a call to action. We look at the Boiling River Project, the non-profit organization dedicated to mapping, studying, and protecting this geological wonder. We explore the complex politics of conservation in Peru. How do you protect a place that the government doesn't officially recognize as a protected zone? How do you balance the rights of the indigenous people with the curiosity of international tourists? The boiling river is a last frontier. It represents the remaining mysteries of our planet and the responsibility we have to preserve them. As we look at the rising steam of the Shanai Timpishka, we have to ask ourselves, are we capable of leaving some places sacred? Or will our curiosity and our greed eventually boil away the very wonders we seek to find? Andres Russo's mission is far from over. He is still working to have the area declared a national monument, ensuring that the Yakumama can continue to breathe her hot mist into the canopy for generations to come. The boiling river is a reminder that we don't need to go to other planets to find alien worlds. We just need to look deeper into the green heart of our own. Outro: the steam that never fades. We have reached the end of our journey into the steam. From the ancient legends of the Mother of Water to the high-tech sensors of modern geology, the boiling river remains a place of profound wonder. It is a reminder that our world is still capable of surprising us, that there are still impossibilities waiting to be found in the shadows of the trees. The Shanai Timpishka continues to flow. It roars through the jungle, a ribbon of fire in a world of green. It reminds us that the earth is alive, that it has a pulse, and that it is much, much more powerful than we often care to admit. Whether you see it as a scientific anomaly or a spiritual sanctuary, the river demands your respect. If you enjoyed this journey into the heart of the Amazon, if you want to discover more about the world's most incredible natural wonders, the secrets of the earth, and the stories of those who explore them, please Please like this content and subscribe to the channel. Your support allows us to keep bringing the mysteries of the wild to your ears. Have you ever been to a place that felt like it belonged in another world? Or is there a legend from your own culture that science has yet to explain? Let us know in the comments. We love hearing your stories. Thank you for listening, and until our next adventure, keep your curiosity burning. Thank you.